If you're watching this, you're most likely a freshman, sophomore, or junior who's going into AP World History next year. I have one thing to tell you. Good luck. You're about to enter a world of notes, quizzes, and reading, and tests. Your stress levels will reach all new heights. After all, this is a college course. Fortunately for you, we, a class who have already taken the test and suffered through all the meaningless procedures of the past, have prepared this small, short, and sweet guide to how to survive AP World History.
Do your summer reading. It's long and seemingly pointless, but it will prepare you for the year ahead. Guns, Germs, and Steel is 480 pages of fun, and will help you throughout the whole of Chapter 1 of the course. Despite its dry nature, the book will actually increase your vocabulary and give you an understanding of human life. It will also provide you with a renewed respect for Jared Diamond and the patience it must have taken to write this book. Throughout the 480 pages, the book addresses the single question of a man in New Guinea named Yali.
Why you white men have so much cargo and we New Guineans have so little?
Unfortunately, after the book was published, an angry mob comprised of AP World students attacked and killed Yali to ensure that a sequel to Guns, Germs, and Steel would not be an issue. There are, of course, other options for your summer reading, but be prepared to accept the consequences of your choice. No one will take you seriously if you just read Salt. Start reading. Now. If you don't, you will fail. The book will tell you everything you need to know, and Mr. Follis will enhance the information and make it more interesting. And while Mr. Follis might be able to explain to you how Napoleon's troops were so cold on the return home from Russia that they actually carved out horse guts and slept in the carcasses, this will most likely not be on the AP test. Instead, spend extra time learning about the types of governments preceding Napoleon's reign. If you buy your book, highlighting will help you concentrate as well as make future studying easier. Reading notes are also helpful for those of you who can't afford to buy the textbook. Either way, make sure that there is some kind of notation that will help with future studying and long-term review. This being said, do not highlight everything, or write 20 pages of notes. At that point, you're just copying information instead of actually studying and remembering it. Take your China and Islam notes. Without these notes, you will undoubtedly confuse Akbar the Great and Abbas the Great. And just wait till you see some of the Chinese names. You'll soon discover how hard it is to memorize names that you can't even pronounce. Another piece of advice, learn your Chinese dynasties. There are many, and I promise you, they all sound Chinese. The multiple choice part of your test is designed to be as close to the AP test as possible. It is said that the more multiple choice you practice on, the better off you'll be. Also, don't pay attention if your Scantron answers line up. If this does happen, you will most likely become distracted from your test and start thinking about the probability that there are actually 4 V's in a row. Chances are, the one that you changed to ease your mind will be the one that was right. Instead, think about how, if you ever become a teacher, you will design a test to which there are 20 questions and the correct answer to each question is B. Except for number 18, of course, which will be C, just to fake your students out. Now that you've plotted your revenge, get back to your test and finish up so you can work on your essays. Essay questions are the second part of the test. There are 2 types, change over time and compare and contrast. Depending on the subject, they can be equally hard, but whatever you do, do not use a pizza taco thesis. Pizza taco theses are defined as any thesis for which pizza and taco can replace the main subjects. For example, Rome and Han China were very similar, but they were also very different. If we replace Rome and Han China with the words pizza and tacos, the resulting sentence is as follows. Pizza and tacos are very similar, but they are also very different. A common variation of this is, despite their numerous differences, the Roman Empire and Han China were very much alike. As you can see, Pizza Taco theses give the reader the feeling that they're reading something written by a fourth grader. Another important thing to note, aside from a few in-class activities and maybe a test, if you're lucky, there's about a 2% chance that the following essay prompt will appear on the AP exam. Compare and contrast Han China and the Roman Empire. If you do happen to see this prompt, you're most likely dreaming, so you'd better wake up and finish the rest of your test. DBQs. DBQs are your best friend. They require absolutely no prior knowledge whatsoever, and as long as you can support your argument, you can pretty much say whatever you want. There are 4 main parts: thesis, groups, point of view, and additional document. For your thesis, do not use a Pizza Taco. Try and group your documents as many ways as is humanly possible. Use at least 3 groups with 3 documents in each group. For your point of view, talk about evident biases in the documents. Use your common sense and don't make up things that aren't there. For your additional document, use another piece of evidence to support your argument. When in doubt, go for an excerpt from a peasant girl's diary. If you're really desperate, go for a slave girl's diary who lost her parents to disease or invaders. However, it is best to make sure that the extra document fits into your paper, so check before applying. Even if you do nothing else, do your charts. What is on your charts will be on your test. Not necessarily the AP exam, but your classroom tests, yes. Plus, they provide a giant cushion for your grade. This means that when, not if, when, you fail your first test, your grade does not crash and burn. Study and finish your charts. Unless you want all of your childhood dreams crushed, do not bring up any of the following during class: Disney movies.
Stupid caste system. That's it. I'm moving to Russia. Or France, I guess. Come on, let's go, boo.
I am Miguel.
And I am Tulio.
And they call us Miguel and Tulio.
Pilgrims, chivalry, or any holiday. None of these topics are historically accurate, and Follis will destroy your preconceptions.
Stop that!
There is nothing worse in AP World than the lethal reading quiz. When there's not enough classroom discussion, or there is general doubt about reading being done, Mr. Follis will decide to administer the quiz. These quizzes are normally simple and focus on the italicized words in the textbook. For those who have done their reading, the quizzes shouldn't be a problem. However, for the other 75% of the class who haven't touched their book all week, failure is imminent. In order to avoid the described situation, there are a few warning signs to look for. The first is little to no discussion with long periods of silence. The second is for him to say either, "You guys are really scaring me," or either "You're not reading," which scares me, or "You're reading but not remembering what you read," which scares me even more. When this happens, casually flip through your textbook and check out the italicized words of the previous night's reading. Next, you will most likely hear the most dreaded saying of all: get out a piece of paper. Brace yourself, because you're going to get it. Movies. Don't sleep through them. You'll want to, but don't. The movies are normally interesting and contain useful information. By the end of the year, Peter Weller will be your best friend.
Hello, I'm Peter Weller.
If, and only if, you finish classwork with 10 or more minutes to spare, ask for stories. Mr. Follis has had many interesting experiences. The most infamous of these is the wedding story. If you don't get this, your entire year will be a waste. Well, not really, but you do want to hear it. World is survivable. It's a hard class, but a good one. It prepares you for college and helps you with time management and organizational skills. Plus, you can amaze people with your knowledge of people like Alcibiades and Kublai Khan. You can proudly say that you've studied the history of the world from the beginning of time to now. And relax. It could be much, much worse. 200 years from now, the class will be even longer.